Los Angeles and the Grammys to Atlanta and the SEC football championship game and everywhere in between. But this is my first time to broadcast from Memphis in May, and we are super, super excited about it. Now, this is obviously a special show, different time slot. Want to thank Chris Brooks and that crew for allowing us to broadcast from 10 a.m. to noon, where there's more stuff going on here at Memphis in May. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app, and again, we're live from the JonesyQ tent or rig, I guess you would say, which is unbelievable, here on the Mississippi River at Memphis in May. And I've got Jeff Jones with me. We'll say Jeff's on the Modelo guest line throughout the morning, although he is right here with me. Jeff Jones, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Man, I'm doing well. Just enjoying this view this morning.
Yeah, no, this is nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice setup.
Get to watch the old mighty Mississippi go down.
You know, you've done this before. I think I, walked down this walkway when I was 6 years old, when your parents take you to Peabody and all that stuff. But it's been a long time since I've, quote-unquote, hung out by the Mississippi River. And so I appreciate you inviting us up. JonesyQ, Jeff Jones with us on the show. And this is going to be a fun and exciting and probably nerve-wracking weekend for you and your team.
Yeah, man, it's work as you saw yesterday.
Oh, man.
It's you pull in and it's grass. Tents have to go up, banners have to go up, get the flooring down. I mean, it takes, literally 2 good days of getting this thing set up and then 6 hours to take it down.
And that's on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday evening after awards, we will start taking all this down and packing up and start heading back to the Madison area Sunday afternoon. Okay.
Let's tell everybody where they can find you. JonesyQ.com. That's JonesyQ.com. You're on Instagram, JonesyQ, Facebook, and everywhere else, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. So either your wife was sharing stuff this morning or you were, because I posted some stuff and saw there was some sharing on the Book of Face.
Oh, yeah, man. We're happy as heck to have you here, man. It's, partnering up with you and getting out and, cooking and getting to go places and promoting the Y'all Lifestyle, ESPN, and JonesyQ. It's a winning combination, but it's a lot of people that help us put this together. I mean, even though we have our own sauce and season line, we have sponsors. We have Premium Iowa Pork, Jealous Devil. Man, they've done us right this year. We've got Country Pleasin'. We're going to have some Country Pleasin' sausage.
I'm excited about that because I'm starving.
Those guys hooked us up, and, just a lot of support. And, a lot of the people back home, the audience listening right now, getting behind us and supporting us and making this happen. And, we're going to bring some hardware home. What it's going to be, I have no idea, but we're bringing some back.
Yeah, and so you're Jeff Jones on the Out of Bounds show. The way you're talking, I mean, it's serious. It's a competition, and this is the World Championship, right?
Yeah, it is. You've got 3 categories, so you can only cook one on Saturday. So you have whole hog, shoulder, or rib. So you'll have teams cooking just hog, teams cooking just shoulder, and, we'll be cooking a rib.
Okay.
And your turn-ins, you'll start cooking. The hogs will start Friday night. The shoulders will start Friday night. We'll put our rib on Saturday morning, get turn-ins done. We have on-site judges, so we'll actually have a turn-in time. And right when our box is due to be turned in for, backstage judging, we'll actually have a judge come in here. And we will walk them through our process from, the Premium Iowa Pork Duroc that we're cooking to the Jealous Devil charcoal that we're using, to the JonesyQ seasons we're putting on it. Walk them through everything. We sit them down at the bar, and we feed them a slab of ribs. You've got 15 minutes with them, and try to answer as many questions as they have and keep shoving food in their face.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and then as soon as they leave, you have 2 minutes to turn it all around and have another judge come in. So you do that 3 times. So 3 different judges. We'll have the new cooker in here that we'll display off of. And it's kind of it's organized chaos. It really is. I mean, you can get rattled. teams down here do get rattled. I mean,
sure.
you can get overwhelmed. Stuff does never go right. You know, right?
Right.
It's like radio. Nothing ever happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Sure.
And
you got to be able to adapt and pivot and all the stuff we talk about.
It's adapt and overcome, and you've got to have a good group of people with you to help keep. You know, it's like the train. It's going to get going, and you just got to get on it and ride it. And then when the judges leave, you can sit back and take a break and watch the clock, and hopefully they come around and go, "You're going to finals."
So 3 judges come in on Saturday, 15 minutes a pop.
Yep.
Okay. But you're going to be doing some things before that, like y'all are doing a turkey today.
Yeah, so they have the turkey breast competition today that we'll turn in. We'll do chicken wings today.
Okay.
And then we'll do sauce turn in. So we'll do a mustard-based sauce, a vinegar, and a tomato-based sauce. Then tomorrow,
okay,
that all turn in today.
Okay. What time, roughly?
We start at like noon and work to, I think, 3:15. So they're kind of staggered within an hour turn-in times. Then tomorrow we have a beef category, a seafood category, exotic, and we have.
What does that entail?
We're going to do elk.
Okay.
You know, that lovely elk burger, that elk that donated us that burger.
Blake knows that. That thing was amazing.
Yeah, we're going to do some elk. We have some beef short rib we got from Country Pleasin' that we're going to cook as our beef category. Seafood, we're doing a smoked oyster. And we're going to top that with a little shaved Japanese Wagyu.
No, you're not.
You know, why top it with bacon when you've got Wagyu, right?
And I hear we may have some Japanese Wagyu this morning.
We are. We're going to dive off into that probably in the second hour.
Love it.
And we get this Country Pleasin' out here and get some sauce on it and get the little munchie started and have the Coors Light hotline running strong today.
I love it. I love it. Jeff Jones, JonesyQ.com, kind enough to invite us up to broadcast from Memphis in May, which we have never been here before. And, you know, everybody's set up on the Mississippi River here in Memphis. How many people, roughly, Jeff, all I do is see tents for miles. How many people are here?
I think there's right under 80 rib teams. There's right under 40 shoulders.
Okay.
And I think it's 27 hogs. So they cut the numbers down a little bit this year, gave the teams a little bit more room. This is typically the size space we normally have.
Okay.
So we didn't get a bigger area, but when they eliminated some of the teams, they gave you a little bit more space. And not really sure the criteria. When this thing canceled last year, Memphis and May was really nice about it. And they were like, look, you know, you've already paid your entry fees. We can send it back or we can hold it, and you're good for next year. And I'm thinking, well, they're going to get smaller with COVID. And I'm like, if I let them keep my money, I got a better chance of being back in this thing.
Right.
And so I was like, if I got my money back, I'm thinking, well, they might not let me come back.
Yeah.
So we left it in. And, you know, I really don't know any of the big teams or the guys that we normally compete against. Everybody's here. So
right.
I think a lot of the –
it's a who's who, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you're coming off a big win in
Atoka.
Here in Tennessee,
Yep.
about an hour from here?
Yes, about an hour north. It's a couple competitions that go on up there in the Atoka area, but it was fun to finally get back and cook, and you know, some big teams were there. Myron Mixon was there, you know, to get to go head to head and beat Myron. I mean, that's a bucket list thing if you're in barbecue. Everybody wants to get a little piece of the old man, you know, the winningest guy in barbecue.
It's like beating Brady or LeBron.
Yeah, and it's you know, and Myron's just like, man, Jonesy, good job, buddy. You know, you get that attaboy from him, you feel good. And it, you know, we needed a good cook coming in here because, you know, you never just want to show up. We practice at home, don't get me wrong, but
it's kind of like playing a couple of tournaments before you go to the Masters.
Right. You want to get that action in.
Gotcha.
And get the competitive feel, get the cookers going, you know, cooking out in the elements.
It's why we have NFL exhibition games.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
right. Jeff Jones, JonesyQ.com, award-winning pit master, just won at Atoka. Did I say that right?
Atoka, Tennessee. Yes.
Atoka, Tennessee. First place in ribs is here. How many years? We're about to take a quick break. Blake, go ahead and make sure that music's loud because it's kind of loud here. And let me know the countdown. How many times have you competed here at Memphis in May?
6.
This is your 6th or this is your 7th?
This will be my 7th.
Okay.
We've got 2 third-place finishes in rib.
Okay.
And going for a third.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Okay. All right, we're having fun here. Jeff Jones joining me on the Modelo guest line. We're overlooking the Mississippi River at Memphis in May. And what would you call this? A rig, a tailgate, a tent? Jeff Jones, the JonesyQ tent?
I call it a JonesyQ party.
Okay, we're at the JonesyQ party at Memphis in May. We'll be back in a second. You're listening to ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Starkville.
All right, we're live from Memphis in May at the JonesyQ party. And Jeff Jones, JonesyQ, will be competing over the next few days at Memphis in May. And it is the World Championship of Barbecue. Is that the way I...
World Championships, yes. Memphis in May World Championships of Barbecue.
Memphis in May World Championships of Barbecue. Nice. And people are going all out here. I mean, the tents and the rigs, it's like tailgating on steroids. It's even bigger than what people, like, you know, the 1% in Oxford and Starkville? In the Grove and the Junction, it's like more than that.
They couldn't handle this.
No, not this many cookers and like that grill that you have back there.
Yeah, the new one.
That was custom made.
Custom made from Tyler Cannon Pits.
And where is that?
He's out of Texas.
Okay. All right. Is that what you cooked on when you wanted a toka?
No, we cooked on the old hickory that's in the pig pile wagon there.
Okay. By the way, Jeff Jones is on the Modelo guest line, obviously. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, so we cooked on the old hickory, and we're going to do the short ribs, a lot of the ancillary stuff. I call the cooker back there Black Betty. She's black. You know, she's beautiful.
Right.
She's Black Betty. So we're going to cook on her, the ancillaries, the short rib today, get a good smoke on that, and then we're going to bring it actually in the tent and display for the judges when they come in. So Saturday's the big deal, but you're still trying to win some stuff today, tomorrow? Yeah, they've got best sauce, so you got 3 sauce categories: mustard, tomato-based, and vinegar.
Okay.
Then we're doing chicken wings, and we're doing a pretty unique chicken wing. So we're doing a boneless chicken wing. So we deboned the chicken wing, and it still looks like a chicken wing. So the judges aren't going to know that they're biting into a boneless wing until they bite into it, and they're going to go, "Where's the bone? It's gone." We JonesyQ'd it. And we were even talking earlier. I was like, let's stuff it with some Wagyu. Why not?
Are you going to do that?
I don't know. We're thinking about it. Why not?
Okay.
You know, it's too bad that I can't watch them try it because, you know, their eyes are going to explode.
Oh, you like
you turn
drop it off, turn it in?
You turn it in, and then you hope you get on a good table. I mean, it's like anything. You know,
everything's subjective.
It is, and some of the judges might like a taste of something, some don't, and you know, you just have to roll the dice on what's good, what you think's good, what you think's going to win. But chicken wings are a big deal here. I mean, it's it's huge.
What kind of seasoning will you hit it with? Or can you say that?
Yes. So we're going to use. I've got a new hot sauce. But you've tried it before,
right?
A wing sauce. We're going to use that, and I've got a new. It's going to go in the JonesyQ wood-fire smoke line, our essential line for everyday kitchens. But we're going to do a herb truffle parmesan seasoning with a little bit of our new ecstasy cayenne.
Okay.
And we tried a little trick with it yesterday, and it was amazing. That sauce with the butterness and the richness and the herbs and the truffle, and then getting a little kick on it. Yeah, it's good. So it's going to be. We're hoping it's going to work well.
Jeff Jones with us. We're live from Memphis in May at the Jeff JonesyQ party tent and rig, and they will be competing today, tomorrow, and then Saturday is the grand finale, so to speak. Saturday's the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
is that fair?
It is. We'll be down here bright and early, and it's game day. You know, I mean, you basically cooks that we normally do in the year, that's practice. I mean, this is
right.
This is the Super Bowl.
This is Augusta National and the Super Bowl.
This is what you want.
Except it's a little bit different year because, like you said, y'all didn't get to cook for a year, and the first one was Atoka, and you just won number one at the ribs in the ribs competition at Atoka. But everybody else is in the same boat. It's not like they've competed on 6 weekends going into this, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us, and there's different things. So you have different organizations. You have KCBS, you have MBN. Memphis and May really rotates around the MBN structure. So you'll cook a baby back rib, a loin back rib. You will do the whole shoulder and the whole hog. The Royal, which is more KCBS styled, the Jack Daniel's Classic is more KCBS styled, so you'll do the spare rib. And they don't do hog. So this is kind of our MBN style event that's, you're going to cook the similar rules that we did, which is what we just cooked a couple weeks ago and won. So we feel like we've got a really good chance at it with some good product.
And the judges have no idea who?
No, all blind.
Okay.
You put it in a box and you turn it in to a table. They'll check your name off the list, and they'll go put it on a table. And 4 judges, I think, this year, 4 judges per table. And there'll be a winner off each table, and the highest score out of 80 ribs, the top 3 will make finals. And then you'll have 4 judges walk in at the same time, and you set them down and feed all 4 judges.
Really?
Yeah. So you've got to cook a lot of ribs. I mean, the hog cooks here, they usually cook 2 hogs. Guys that do shoulders, they might do 12, 13 shoulders.
How about that?
Yeah.
12, 13 shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're live from Memphis in May. And the World Championship barbecue event, the Augusta National Super Bowl of barbecue pitmaster cooking.
Yeah, this is what you wait all year for.
Yeah, and especially last year where you missed. Like, how many tournaments would you have entered from the time COVID shut everything down to the time you went to Atoka? 6?
No, we're probably, buying this new cooker back here, we were going to get out and do a lot more KCBS, BCA, MBN. I was literally looking at the option of running 2 teams. If there was 2 comps one weekend, we've got 2 cookers. I'll send one team to go cook here, and I'd go cook another one. And just to kind of get the brand out is what you want to get out and win and let people see your product and taste it.
Because this is also a rubs.
Yeah.
This is a rubs and sauces game for you, too.
It is. And so, our goal, we were going to try to get 10 or 15 of these things in.
Okay.
And then you just kind of pump the brakes. And, in a lot of areas, they kept cooking. But, Mississippi, Tennessee, our home base where we normally go cook, whether it's city regulations, they just felt like it wasn't safe at the time. And, so we had to just sit back and wait. Or you could go travel 6 or 7 states over and cook.
Damn, I'm surprised we weren't ones that kept firing away. That surprises me. So in other parts of the country, they were still doing it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was in, like, Wyoming or North Dakota, South Dakota. Those were so
Texas,
not a lot of people.
Texas kept going.
Okay.
A lot of other places in the Delaware, Virginia area. We've got 5 JonesyQ teams up there that we sponsor, and I think they've cooked 6 or 7 times already this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That surprises me, the way everything kind of played out. Blake, do we have a question for Jeff Jones with JonesyQ?
We do. Someone on the text line wants to know if there are, like, international teams that come compete in this contest.
Interesting.
It is. Usually there is a theme or a country that's represented here. So every year it's a different one. And we had the team from Poland 2 years ago that was beside us, and the pit master actually cooked for the president. And
for Trump or
no, for the
Obama?
Poland. For the Poland, he was the official cook there.
Oh, gotcha.
And he came over and represented Poland.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a Mexico team down on the end. They came 2 or 3 events ago.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and to go hang out with these guys, I'm telling you, because living in Texas 12 years, it's like you get to learn some really good tricks.
Right.
And these guys are just blow your mind with how they cook things because it's so different than what we do. And what catches you most when you walk and your nose kicks in. You get that you're like, what in the heck is that?
Right.
It smells so good. And then you'd look over and there's 30 people around these guys and they're just laughing and this is how we do things here and they're cooking and it's nice. But
So this is just like football where you travel, you see how some other people do it. Some people may take a little bit of what you do over the course of however many times running into you. You may take a little bit of what they do, then you get the spread offense, you get the air. I mean, this is the same thing as far as a sports analogy, right?
Yeah.
You may see something you like and say, I'm going to incorporate a little bit of that in my next competition.
Yeah, we do. I mean, last night, Brian Teeters with Killer Grillers, man, we sat down and talked last night. Some things that I'm doing, some things that he's doing. We're both cooking on Old Hickory CTOs, and we're cooking at 2 different temperatures. I cook at one temp, he cooks at another, and we were not trying to convince the other one to go that route, but it was interesting to get his take, and and he was asking me, well, how does this react when you do it this way? And that's a lot of what it is, man. When guys are winning, everybody wants to know what they're doing.
Right.
And a lot of things we don't want to.
Just like the Patriots in Alabama.
Yeah.
I got it.
We don't want to give out all the secrets, but I'm never going to not help anybody. If somebody asks me, hey, can you help me do this? I'm going to help them because that's how I perfected my game is with Mark West with 10 Bones, sitting down with him and asking him, literally going up, hey, man, you help me? He looked at me. He's like, well, you need help. Not that way. Not that way. On the barbecue side. So, but, yeah, there's countries from all over. They're not really a lot here this year.
Right.
Because of COVID. But typically in the past, you have 6 or 7 international teams here.
Okay. And so you said there's about 150 people here, depending on the category.
Yeah.
On a regular year, is there 200?
A little over 200.
Got it. All right. Jeff Jones and JonesyQ, rubs and sauces, award-winning pitmaster. Go to JonesyQ.com. Go ahead and get some rubs and sauces as you're going to be cooking like crazy this spring and summer. We're going to get into some SEC baseball, too, on the other side. All right? And the fact that the Egg Bowl is going to be on Thursday this year. Back in a second, live from Memphis in May. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by JonesyQ and JonesyQ.com. Jeff Jones in the house. Back in a second.
Services.
And Blake Scott said, I am up. So that means it's time to roll. The Out of Bounds Show, special show today, 10 a.m. to noon, live from Memphis in May. The World Championship Barbecue Competition. It's the Super Bowl, the Augusta National. And I know a lot of you have been here, many, many times. I have not. I think I came through here in the 90s when I was in college. I was focused on other things. But it's a great setup. I am blown away with the investment and the rigs and the tents and the tailgating and everything that's going on. So they'll compete today, tomorrow, and then Saturday will be the Super Bowl or the Masters of the whole deal. Jeff Jones, the Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by JonesyQ. Hit his site right now, JonesyQ.com. That's JonesyQ.com. JonesyQ.com. And Jeff Jones, who I call Hollywood, was kind enough to invite us up and let us hang out for a couple of days and see what they're doing. They're cooking some country-pleasing sausage right now and some Japanese Wagyu steak. So I'm looking forward to having some of that in the next little while. I tell you what I did have this morning. I had a half of a cookie that I took with me that Blake Scott cooked a couple of days ago, or baked, whatever. And that has tied me over. And then Jeff Jones made me pour a Coors Light about 20 minutes ago. And we're right here on the Mississippi River, the mighty Mississippi. We've got pictures and video on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, so you can check that out. I do want to dive into some sports topics here for a second, and then we'll have Jeff back on in the next segment. Blake was filling me in on what's going on in the world, and I had some people text me about the Egg Bowl, the battle for the golden egg. And there are, I guess, strong rumors, and they may have already been confirmed. I kind of feel like I've been in on the outside looking in the last 24 hours, that the game this year in Starkville, Ole Miss at Mississippi State, Kiffin won last year, so he's quote-unquote 1-0. I guess that's how we look at it in the series against Leach. But the game in Starkville will be Thanksgiving, and that does not sit well with Blake Scott. Blake wants to have his Thanksgiving and then watch his Dallas Cowboys. And evidently he did not let John Cohen and Keith Carter, among others, know that. But I guess it goes back to kind of the only college game in town, and I would think they'll drop it at like 6 or 7, if not later, at night on Thanksgiving night. So we've been doing this for years between Mississippi State and Ole Miss, kind of back and forth between Thanksgiving and Saturday. Last year, Ole Miss won the game at Vaught-Hemingway, and it was on a Saturday, right? I think it was Saturday last year. And this year, we're hearing Thanksgiving. Now, another topic is DJ Stewart is a pretty darn good guard for Mississippi State, and he's going to go pro, or at least people feel, and he may have already announced it officially, but we've been hearing the last few weeks, he wants to go play, give the NBA a shot, or at least play what they call, I guess, minor league hoops. And some people are like, I don't understand. Well, I'll lay it out for you, and this is just my opinion. I don't blame DJ Stewart either way. Come back, play some college hoops, great. Or go play minor league basketball and make $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 a year, maybe more. A lot of people go, well, why? Well, what do you mean, why? I mean, how much were you making at 21? I mean, somebody offered you 40, 60, 80 grand, depending on where you were in life. You take it. I mean, his shelf life is only, what's he going to play? If he plays European, Asian, South American, maybe a combo of a little NBA, maybe a little D-League, whatever. I mean, what's he going to play till? 31? Maybe? Maybe 32? Now the way they keep their body, 33, I don't know. I do think his best hoops is in front of him, just like a lot of the guys that we talk about with Ole Miss and Mississippi State. He's long, he's athletic, he needs to become a better shooter, but he can shoot it well. He can do some other things. He's a heck of a defender. He's actually willing to play defense at a time when not everybody wants to play. But when we were growing up, I mean, we had friends and buddies and guys that were as good or better than us that didn't want to play D. D takes effort. So I'm not surprised to see these guys go and say, I'll make 50 grand. 21 years old. I'll make $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month. Why not? I don't blame anybody. He owes Mississippi State nothing, vice versa. Same thing if this, a guy at Ole Miss was doing it. So none of this surprises me, and I'll say this. I just don't think that it's a wake-up call yet for college basketball coaches. But you run boring offenses. How about that? Instead of thinking about why are the kids leaving, how about do a mirror test? You run boring offenses. I mean, it's the same deal. You suffocate your talent. And I think what you've been able to see in college football is coaches finally say, you know what, I'm going to open it up. This high school football, too. We've talked about MRA and some other schools. I mean, you still have schools where 2 guys, 3 guys touch the ball on Friday night. That's boring. I played football. I also played hoops, point guard. That's more fun. I mean, I got to handle the ball every single possession. I mean, sitting in groups in football? Nonsense. I mean, so now college football, at MRA on a Friday night, 10 guys touch the football. That's interesting and fun. Your stuff's not interesting if, you're still doing the same thing. And college hoops offense is tough sometimes. I mean, there's some that move it. Bruce Pearl has a fun offense, right? Chase space, create space, play on the perimeter, let my guys have some fun and show their shot-making ability. Now, I did see, Blake, that I think I got an email yesterday. The National, High School Federation or something is going to allow for a shot clock in high school basketball. Now, I don't know how that looks nationally, and I don't know if that's then implemented state to state. That'll be interesting.
It's about time.
I agree. I mean, I don't think teams do it as much, but you can't hold the basketball. We need to go. And again, this needs to be interesting, not boring, for the parents and for the players. Look, Ben Howland and Kermit Davis Jr., they're good coaches. Their offenses are meh. So I don't know. It doesn't surprise me at all that a kid at 21 years old wants to go make $50,000 a year. And that's what he thinks he can do for, I don't know how far ahead he's thinking, but for a decade. And he can eventually make $100, $150, $200, whatever. I mean, if you make the NBA now, what is it, $450 minimum? Look at what Terrence Davis is doing. Blake, did you see the former Ole Miss player drop 27 points the other night for the Toronto Raptors?
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, he's making $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year. That's beautiful. So, and then it's game day. We've got Mississippi State playing Missouri tonight at the Dude. Boy, it's a big weekend for everybody. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to tonight. And then Ole Miss hosts Vandy all weekend. So the Dude and Swayze will be packed. And it looks like the battle for the Golden Egg will be back on Thursday. Hey, the Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by JonesyQ. Award-winning rubs and sauces. You can go to JonesyQ.com. That's JonesyQ.com. JonesyQ.com. Jeff Jones will be back on here in just a second. He'll join us on the Modelo guest line. The Out of Bounds Show. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, live from Memphis in May. Back in a second. Hey. All right, welcome back to Memphis in May. And we are here at the JonesyQ party. Tent tailgate. Excited to be here. I just had a bite of country pleasing sausage with JonesyQ Delta Q sauce. It was outstanding. I highly recommend it with a Modelo or a Coors Light. Want to thank Jeff Jones. Again, JonesyQ. That's JonesyQ.com. JonesyQ.com. Award-winning rubs and sauces. He's coming off winning first place in the ribs competition at Atoka, about an hour from here. And we're here at Memphis in May, right here on the mighty Mississippi River. And you're listening to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And we are streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app on is today Thursday? Thursday. Game day. As Mississippi State will host the Missouri Tigers at Dudy Noble Field. This is a good-looking spread right here. And Jeff Jones just dropped some money, honey, on us, too. So we'll be comboing a little Delta Q sauce from the JonesyQ line and the money, honey, on the country pleasing sausage. WRKS, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, the Out of Bounds Show. I've got Blake Scott with, he's back in the Bank Plus studio. And I'm your host, Bo Bounds, and Jeff Jones will join me here in just a second. They're cooking some Japanese Wagyu steak, and they just dropped two big platters of country pleasing sausage, again with the Money Honey Rub and the Delta Q JonesyQ sauce. Jeff Jones back on the Modelo guest line, live from Memphis in May, ESPN 105.9, The Zone. And I'm going to let him.
Yeah, Bo's a professional. He waits right before I take a bite of this country pleasing sausage to introduce me.
Well, you can go ahead. I got stuff to hit. All right, tonight MSU will host Missouri in baseball at the Dude, and then so they got a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. 7:30. Ooh, really? 7:30 tonight. Okay. Well, I'm going to the game, I think. I won't be going to all of it, but I'll get out there about 7 and say hey to everybody and head out about 8:30, and then we'll get ready to roll. Jeff Jones in the house. What's up, buddy?
Man, just enjoying this beautiful day. I mean, people.
What kind of country pleasing sausage do we
Aaron
have?
just gave me a plethora of packages of sausage.
Okay.
Everything's different. Jalapeno and cheese.
Right.
All of their good stuff. I said, man,
Right.
I want all the good stuff. So he just loaded my cooler up. Very appreciative of them at Country Pleasing for helping get us fed. But as I was going to say, people don't really – everybody thinks Memphis in May is just a big party barbecue event, and it is, don't get me wrong. But to sit here every morning and look at the Mississippi River just go by and the barges and everything, it's amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, the sunsets here. I mean, you're not going to get any better than this because the sun's going right down in front of us, and it's beautiful. You'll see the lawn chairs just lined up out there in the grass, people just watching it, getting photos.
Well, and you caught great weather today and through the weekend.
This is the best weather I think we've ever had. I mean, we had a little rain the other day, but it's barbecue. It rains at every barbecue event or snows or something. But
so you've competed where you're set up and like there's thunderstorms going.
Yeah, they evacuated the park 2 years ago. And
wow.
we all hid in the trailer.
Did you really?
I was like, man, I'm not getting out of here. And it's amazing. And people from the Delta and along the river, they know this. So we could see the severe storm.
And you're from Cleveland, Mississippi.
Yes. You could see, across the rivers, Arkansas, you could see the storm coming. I mean, the lightning, the clouds. It hits the river and just goes straight up north. It never came on this side of the river. We watched it it hit the river and went straight up.
Wow.
And we were all sitting here like, what just happened? Everybody was hunkered down waiting on this big storm to come, and it came right up, and the good Lord said, hey, we're just going to go on up the river and leave you guys alone, and we do appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, this weather is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like you're going to have to worry about that at all this weekend.
Low 80s.
Yeah. And you're right. It was cool last night, cool this morning. There's a breeze off the river right now. It feels great. Jeff Jones, JonesyQ.com, on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9, The Zone. Hey, tell me about Jealous Devil.
We were very fortunate enough. One of the things people, a lot of people, I guess, don't take it for granted, but, when we cook, we burn through a lot of charcoal. And we've bounced around using different items, but, if you don't have a charcoal sponsor, it's like I have to go to Academy like everyone else or, to a place and buy charcoal. And you always want to get something good. You don't want to get something that's made cheaply. And I know it's all burnt and compressed wood.
Right.
But you have bigger briquettes, the quality of wood that's used. And Jealous Devil was a great partner for us. They've got a clean, lump. Their briquettes, they have pellets now. So, because in my outdoor kitchen, I've got a pellet grill, a green egg. We've got PKs. So, we're using all three blends of their fuel when we cook at home. And it was just for us and the Legend Maker and, Jealous Devil kind of just rolls right in with the JonesyQ attitude and swag. And so reached out to them and a great group of guys. And, they hooked us up with a lot of stuff. We invited them out this year. But with COVID,
they're out of California.
Yeah, a lot of the guys didn't want to, and I get it. A lot of people are not really comfortable traveling right now.
Sure.
And so we were honored. We're one of the couple teams down here that's promoting the brand, and you've got.
And you love their stuff.
Man,
you've been talking to me about it for a year.
Yeah, their fuel is great. I mean, whether it's the lump, their extra large lump, is all I use in my green egg. And you've got ceramic cookers,
yeah.
So you can get a cheap lump, and it's gone before you're done with your cook. If you're going to do a slow cook with something, and so something that lasts a long time is great. The Jealous Devil Max briquettes, they're a lot larger a briquette. They burn really hot, so you don't have to use a lot, and that's important. When you're hauling all of this stuff in a trailer, the last thing you want to do is have a pallet of charcoal back there. If you can get by with 20 boxes, that's even better.
Right.
So that's kind of.
How much will you burn through this weekend?
We're probably going to go through about 10 boxes altogether. Just doing all the ancillaries and the cook. But once we get that Old Hickory going, and we'll dump one thing of charcoal in there in the morning, get it started. Maybe have to throw another handful in there, and that's it. I mean, it'll burn all day.
And you're doing turkey. You're entering in turkey and wings
and sauce
/
today.
Sauce
yes.
today.
Yes.
And it's 3 different categories for the sauce.
Yep.
All right, somebody just texted me. What is that again for our listeners?
Tomato base.
Because we got people coming in and out.
You've got tomato base, vinegar, and you have mustard sauce.
Okay.
Then we'll do chicken wings and turkey today.
Okay, and they're boneless wings.
Boneless wings.
Your friend from Fort Worth.
Yeah, Chef Andrew.
Chef Andrew deboned the wings.
Yeah, I told him, I said, man, it would be cool if we could do a boneless chicken wing. He goes, well, that's easy. I'm like, okay, it might be easy for you, bro, but it ain't easy for me.
Right.
And then when he told me how he did it, I was like, well, that is easy. I told you.
Right.
So, but it's like anything. You've got to practice it. And, this guy, he's knocking out dishes and, in restaurants every night. So it's second nature for him. It's a lot us barbecue guys that are trying to cook more into the chef end of it and to carry that chef
And that's what
name.
you're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
some are hard. This is fine, but some are hardcore traditional barbecue,
yeah.
and they may not move off that.
Right.
What I see from you is you can do that, but you're also dancing in the culinary. You're bringing all the different stuff that you do into the culinary world.
Yes, I mean it's funny when I went and did Fire Masters, I did not want to cook traditional chicken or something on the cooker. I wanted to branch out with seafood and. And a lot of the other people that went and cooked that were barbecue people, they stuck in with the traditional cooking chicken and things like that on the grill. And I was like, I just didn't want to go that. I wanted to start working on my other culinary skills.
Yeah.
Showcase them all.
Well, absolutely. And again, you're smoking a turkey today?
Yeah, we're actually the turkey is in the sous vide right now.
In the sous vide.
Yeah, and we're going to, get it to probably a little over 100, 145 degrees. Let it sit, and then we're going to throw a smoke on it and finish it off.
Okay. Unbelievable. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by the award-winning rubs and sauces from JonesyQ. You can go to JonesyQ.com. Check it out today. JonesyQ.com. JonesyQ.com. Jeff Hollywood Jones in the house, and we are live from Memphis in May, powered by the award-winning rubs and sauces at JonesyQ. We're about to dive into some country-pleasing sausage with the Delta Q sauce and the Money Honey rub on it. Back in a second.